Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be discussing how I got featured on Wattpad and how my book kind of skyrocketed in reads and everything, and then at the end I'm going to go into tips on why I think I was successful and how you can be too. So how it all started was the book that I got featured is called From Sea to Sky. It's on Wattpad. Check out my it's going to be @Anissa__Angel. So how it all started was I started writing my book From Sea to Sky, and I started publishing it on Wattpad, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to this as you start posting things and nobody's reading it and you're like feeling discouraged. So that's kind of how I went for like the first 10 chapters. Like I was just kind of posting and not really knowing what I was doing. I was just kind of just throwing it out there. Like I was trying all these things. I was like planning out my book. I was checking the grammar and everything, and I don't know, like nothing was working out. I didn't really expect what was gonna happen next. So what happened next is I was just home after school, like 9 o'clock, and I checked my emails like I always do, and I actually got an email from Wattpad, and they're like, oh, congratulations, we featured you on our website, yay! And I was like, what? Like I didn't know what that meant, and then I went on the site and like right on the homepage where it's like featured, like there was my story, and I was like, whoa, what the heck? Kind of everything went uphill from there. Like I went from like 2,000 reads to like 10,000 overnight, which was crazy. So when you get featured on Wattpad, you only get featured for about 2 weeks. So in like the next 2 weeks, I think I jumped up to like 70K or something like that. Kind of went pretty fast, like went up I think like 2K per day. Like it was really crazy. I literally had no idea what was going on. Like suddenly there's too many comments to look through, people messaging me and all this crazy stuff, and I was really freaking out. I was like, what the heck, I don't know. You know, I feel like I always dreamed about that. I always dreamed about like, oh yeah, like one night like I go to bed and then the next morning I'm like on my Wattpad and it's like 1 million reads. Like, you know, I feel like everybody dreams about that, but then like it actually kind of happened and I was like, what the heck? Because of those two things, my book has like been doing pretty darn well. It's like around 200,000 reads, which still like, it's pretty good. But like, I bet you're thinking to yourself,
how the heck was her book chosen out of everybody?
And for a while there, I was kind of like,
oh, I don't know either.
Well, I have an idea. So here are my tips and tricks for how I got to this point. Number one tip, like you'll hear it everywhere. You hear Wattpad say it, you'll hear other writers say it, but like I can't stress this enough. You need to edit your book. And if you're not sure about what your book should look like, you should look it up online. You should look at other people's stories that are successful. Not all successful stories are great on Wattpad, but well, yeah, that's another story for another day. So, like, when you look at it, like, is your dialogue punctuated correctly? Is the comma in the right place? Do you have typos? What is going on with that spacing? What Wattpad is looking for when they feature your story is they're looking for books that could potentially be, like, publishing material. That's what the featured page is for. So you want to make your book look and be very professional and very well done, and you can't be messing around if you want to be featured, which is like, you want to be featured. It's pretty cool. So grammar, you need to get her down, get her going, make her clean and polished, because there's also a thing where the featured list is done by an algorithm. They first look through it by an algorithm, then they like sift through the books, and then they're like, oh yeah, let's throw these on the featured list. So you want to pass the algorithm, and grammar is a big part of it. Another thing that I would suggest is putting that hashtag featured tag on your book, because that actually lets Wattpad kind of know more, oh, like they want to be featured, and it helps them find you a lot better. Like before my book was featured, I wanted to be featured. So I put hashtag featured on my book, and then it happened. So I feel like maybe that had something to do with it. So put that tag on your book. Another thing is I think you should have a very nice title, visually appealing, because like I said, it's gonna be, they want a professional story to like show the world. At the time, I think I made my own cover, and it was pretty good. I mean, I'm not claiming I'm some great graphic designer, but it was pretty good for the time. So it's like you need the beautiful cover, like original title, like original description, and then like your story. They usually pick stories that have a lot of like I would say like 10 or more chapters that like already have like a plot going. Featured is kind of what they look for, unique stories. So if your story kind of is like the same cookie cutter thing, then like it's probably not going to be chosen. So you gotta like make it stand out somehow. Again, this is not an exact science. I spent a lot of time editing. I spent a lot of time investing into like the things that Wattpad offers, like all those like mini award systems, and trying to get my name out there. So that's kind of just like what you need to do, is you need to make sure your story is super unique based off of like what you're going for. Like make sure it's not like, oh yeah, like I read this in another book, let me include this in mine because the readers seem to like it. Let's like find your own path. Find your own way to tell your own story. Like grammar is huge, 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 huge if you want to be able to be found. Put that hashtag featured on there. I think this are like the top tips to like try to get your name out there. And even if you aren't featured, with those few things, your story's just gonna improve, and your readers are gonna you're gonna gain more readers because people are gonna appreciate a story like that shows the author like really cares. So that's how I got featured. Thank you very much for watching. Again, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to smash that like button. Kathleen's cringe. I'll see you all in the next video.